Hey, it's Kenny from Broad Street. Let's talk about 3 ways to avoid bombing an ad sales meeting. So let's just say you've been tracking somebody down for a long time. You would love to get them on board. Maybe it's somebody that we just spent a lot of time trying to get a meeting with, or maybe it's somebody that's really important and we feel like more advertisers might follow if we could just get this one on board, right? So we want this sales meeting to go really well. Number one thing you can do before the meeting is have a plan going in, right? So most sales meetings are going to follow the same structure. Intro, thank you for your time. Do some question and answer, a presentation of what you can do that could potentially help them. And then at the end, ask, well, would it be all right if I put together a service proposal? Some people, they don't like to do the proposal. They like to ask straight up if they would like to buy at that point. Either one, whatever you're comfortable with, but just stick to the plan. Now, during the meeting, if you notice it starts to go off the rails, because sometimes meetings will do that, always go back to where you left off and stick to that original plan. Do not let it go off in its own direction. Secondly, during the meeting, right? If we notice that the meeting isn't going well, we're going to probably observe something more often than not. It means we are probably doing most of the talking, right? So we might be talking and thinking in our head, their body language or the way they're talking or the way they're looking at me or like the aggressive way that they're asking these questions, it doesn't seem to be going so well. I will tell you right now that the less talking that you do and the more listening that you're doing, the more likely that meeting is going to go your way. So what I want you to do is remember, if you find yourself talking too much, relax, quiet down. You do not have to do all the talking. In fact, you probably want to do something, which brings us to number 3, ask questions. So the person who asks the questions is in control of the meeting. So bring it back to that question and answer phase and say, hey, you know what? Tell me how your business is going. What are some of the things around here that you guys are really excited about and you would like my audience to know more about? So the more questions you ask, the more they're going to start talking and the more they're going to say things that are going to cue additional questions. If you're doing a good job listening, which is what you should be doing, you are going to hear something and then you're going to be able to dig a little deeper. Well, tell me more about that. Why this is getting you guys so jazzed, right? So 3 things to make sure that meeting goes really well. Have a plan, stick to it, and go back to it during the meeting if you notice it gets off the rails. 2, quiet down. You want to do less talking and more listening. And 3, to make sure that you are the one who's in control of the meeting, make sure that you are the one asking the questions. Always go back to those questions. The question is the most powerful thing you can do to make sure that you have the information you need to show that you can help the customer, and also just make sure the meeting is following the plan that you set ahead of time.